Hello everyone and welcome. On today's episode, we're discussing baseball legend and Hall of Famer Willie Mays and the significance of 1964. So please join us as we explore history and relics. All during the 1960s, Willie Mays continued making headlines and was on nearly every cover of every sports magazine published. One such magazine was Sport from August 1964. An inside article by Joe Reichler was featured, where 30 living Hall of Famers at the time were polled as to who was the best center fielder ever. 6 Hall of Famers either did not have an opinion or were not available. However, 5 center fielders received first place votes. Max Carey, a National League star who started with the Pittsburgh Pirates in 1910 and ended his career with the Brooklyn Robins in 1929, received 1 vote, his own. Hall of Famers Ray Schalk and Heidi Manush chose Ty Cobb as their best center fielder of all time. We're going to jump now to the number 2 and number 1 spots. Coming in at number 2 was Tris Speaker, as voted by 9 Hall of Famers, including Jimmy Fox, Elmer Flick, Red Faber, Charlie Gehringer, Bill McKechnie, Ed Rosch, George Sisler, Bill Terry, and Zach Wheat. The number 1 spot goes to Joltin' Joe DiMaggio, as voted by 9 additional Hall of Famers, who were Joe Cronin, Hank Greenberg, Joe McCarthy, Bill Dickey, Dizzy Dean, Bob Feller, Luke Appling, Jackie Robinson, and Frankie Fritsch. So where does this leave Willie Mays? Well, he ranked number 3 amongst 4 Hall of Famers: Frankie Fritsch, Carl Hubbell, Paul Warner, and Jackie Robinson. However, when everyone was asked who the best current center fielder was in 1964, Willie Mays got the votes there. Now, I truly think the cover of the August 1964 issue of Sport got it right as to Joe DiMaggio and Willie Mays. The key for me is 1951. Joe played in the majors from 1936 to 1951. Willie Mays' rookie year was in 1951, and he played until 1973. So in my opinion, Joe DiMaggio was the greatest center fielder of his generation, and Willie Mays of his. Now, throughout Major League history, there has been some outstanding team captains. To name a few, Nap LaHoy of the Cleveland Indians, Jimmy Fox of the Boston Red Sox, Thurman Munson of the New York Yankees, and Derek Jeter, also of the New York Yankees. On May 21, 1964, manager Al Dark named Mays captain of the Giants, making Mays the very first African-American captain of a Major League Baseball team. "You deserve it," Al Dark told Mays. "You should have had it long before this." Now, as we come into the home stretch of today's program, what better way to top things off than to show you a relic that Willie Mays once held in his hands in 1964, a professional model Louisville Slugger. Check this out. This is one of Willie Mays' game-used S2 model bats from 1964. It's made of ash, is 35 inches long, and weighs in at 32.4 ounces. It exhibits outstanding use, with a slight crack in the handle some grain swelling from repeated ball contact, and numerous ball marks visible on the right and back of the barrel. You'll notice that Willie Mays' name is presented only as his last name in block lettering. This is due to Mays not having an endorsement with Louisville Slugger. If he had such an endorsement, his last name would be presented in a script signature facsimile of his full name. And what is really awesome about this bat is that it's autographed by Willie Mays. He even added his Say Hey inscription. Say Hey refers to his nickname, the Say Hey Kid, given to him by New York Journal American sports writer Barney Kremenko. Kremenko once said that Mays would blurt out, "Say who? Say what? Say where? Say hey?" So in his write-ups in the paper, Kremenko tabbed Mays the Say Hey Kid, and it stuck. Now this bat has been triple authenticated. For the autograph, it exhibits Willie Mays' Say Hey as well as Major League Baseball's authentication stickers. As for the bat, this was authenticated and graded by John Tobby of JT Sports and PSA DNA Authentication Services. You really can't get any better validation than that. Oh, and as for the bat use grade, it came in at a very respectable 7.5 out of 10. I strongly encourage all of you to utilize grading and authentication services whenever you have a great relic such as this that exhibits a ton of history. You want to make sure it's the real deal as much as you can before you invest your hard-earned money. Willie Mays is one of the greatest players that ever played the game of baseball. He was the National League Rookie of the Year in 1951, World Series champ in 1954. He was a two-time National League MVP. He was also a two-time All-Star MVP out of his 24 appearances. He was a 12-time Gold Glove Award winner and had 660 home runs, which currently ranks 6th all-time. Finally, he was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1979 with 94.7% of the votes.